So we are back, season 2, episode 13. We got our guy Kyler Edwards, came all the way from Netanya today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
For sure. So I'm just gonna introduce Kyler a little bit from Texas. He went to Bowie High School, where Bowie.
Yeah, same thing.
Bowie High School, where he played with Cade Cunningham. He also then went to Finley Prep School.
Yep.
Then he went to the Motor City.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech first, then Houston.
Yep.
Then he went to Motor City,
Yep.
Long Island, and France.
Yep.
And then now he's here in
There you
Netanya.
go.
Yes, sir.
There we go. So we're going to tap into all of it. Again, just thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it. And Mayor, why don't you start us
Yeah,
off?
man, we're excited. As I kind of start every episode, we're kind of on a roll here with getting them going. We're on episode 13 of the season. We welcome guests in from all over the world, Europeans, Americans, playing here in Israel, Israelis too.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of, again, repeat every episode, but it's awesome for us to repeat because we remind ourselves what we're doing, and every athlete is such a different story, and nobody's is the same. And every player that has been on here has played in different leagues and played in different worlds and has different stories of how they adapted and how they've brought their success here to Israel. So you obviously have an amazing, successful career so far. We've done our research, and we're just excited to make this happen. But again, just to highlight how excited we are to have you here, and just an opportunity for you to tell your story and where you've been, the places you've played. So again, just thank you for coming on.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to get this going.
So why don't you take us to Bowie and talk about your success there and what was it like actually playing with Cade Cunningham?
Growing up in Arlington, our school was never like a powerhouse or anything. So I always wanted to make it that. And I never got to, it never turned into a powerhouse, but I always wanted to, in my mind, to make it a powerhouse. But yeah, so I went there my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And I didn't know about this guy named Cade. He was always like, there's a guy like 2 grades younger than you coming up. He's pretty good. Y'all gonna be good together. But, we never got to see that until my junior year, my last year at Bowie. And I guess we went to like 2 games before state we lost, I guess. But it was pretty cool playing with him. You always knew that he was going to be that guy, growing up. He was always taller than everybody. He always had the IQ and, a big point guard. He plays the same as he did played in high school. So he was always good.
Well, They called it the Cade and Kyler show. I definitely saw a bunch of highlights where you guys really were connecting there, and you had a little point guard too. He was pretty tough.
Oh yeah, Rich.
So
yeah.
you say it's not like a powerhouse, but you guys were kind of rolling through in your junior year.
Yeah, but all those kids is like from the area. Other schools like Duncanville, they can get kids from Dallas, Plano, Arlington. Like it's not like a district. Our school was like you have to get your kids from. They have to live in a neighborhood around the school. So I mean that was the unique thing about us. Like we was just like homegrown, always knew each other.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it was cool.
I saw, so also, as we mentioned before, that's how we started, with a teammate. But you were amazing at playing for them. I watched the Ball is Life tape. That's just cool. I'm sure every high school kid is like.
That's the dream.
Yeah, right? You want to see your highlights with the Ball is Life tape under it. So it was awesome to see kind of your success there. And you did great. You were named, you had all those awesome awards that you got at that place and kind of propelled your career. So that was always, I'm assuming, a very main part of your high school experience. You're going to play college afterwards. At what point in that experience you decide what you wanted to do next, whether it was go to prep school, whether it was, get ready for college? When did that decision kind of come in to play?
It was always like in talks with me and my mom, my dad. It was like, maybe you want to go to prep school, get a little bit more exposure, or, get your, rankings higher or whatever it was. But I mean, the indecision was just me, playing with, I don't want to say better talent, but a lot of D1, all the guys on the team are D1. Like this is like the best basketball you're gonna get to prepare you for college. So
sure,
that was a dream for me. So
I mean, guys like Kelly Oubre, Avery Bradley, Tristan Thompson went to Finley Prep.
They all on the walls. Well, they was, but the school is shut down now.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. It's no longer a Finley Prep, but
okay, cool. But you did have offers already in Bowie.
Oh yeah,
from junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So. Where was it like, I want to play with better talent or like get more exposure? Did the exposure really come into play there, or not really?
It was more like younger. I'm like, I gotta get ranked higher. I want to be top 100 and McDonald's, maybe. So I thought that was gonna give me the best chance to making it. But it could have went either way. I could have stayed at home. It didn't really matter. I mean, I just thought in my mind when I was younger, like that was the move.
So I was curious because looking into your kind of family career, your dad played in the NFL.
Yep.
So how is that kind of upbringing of sport being such a vocal point in the house? Did that have a lot to do with, how you were raised and what was valued in your household? And like, did that really play into your decision if that's what you wanted to do in high school? Or is basketball just something you always enjoyed and that's what you decided to pursue?
No, I'm a football guy first. Like, that was my first love, football, because, he played it. So, I mean, it's always competitive in the house. He would race me anywhere. Like, it's just anything out of a game, making me more competitive. And, I had to stop playing after, 8th grade, 9th grade, because I tore my LCL in my knee. So my dad was like, he know what comes with the game. So he was kind of like, all right, let's just shut it down right now.
Interesting.
And just save your body and take the safe route.
What position did you play?
Play quarterback, receiver, safety, everything. I play everything. I was a phenom, man.
Man
I
of
swear.
all times.
Yeah, I was different in football, but I had to stop and pick the wiser choice.
Yeah, whatever coach needed, you were stepping in the field.
In Bowie, you already received an offer from Texas Tech, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So then after Findlay Prep, you received offers from all over. Why, first of all, Texas Tech and Houston, both in Texas, did you always have a feeling you were going to stay in Texas, and why did you end up choosing Texas Tech at first?
I always wanted to come back home because when I went to Findlay Prep, that was in Vegas, so it's like, a little bit away from home, like a college experience. So it just was like, what it would be like if I would go play back in front of the home fans and everything like that. But that's the reason I chose Texas Tech, because it's close to home, good school, and Coach Chris Beard, when he was coming up, that was his real he was getting to where he is now. So I mean, I always believed in him, so it just made it real easy for me to pick them, and my family picked them too.
So as we had spoken to athletes before, kind of a lot of times has this recruitment process works is you go where your coach goes, and eventually whatever happens with that has to do with when you leave the university. So your time at the university was obviously super aligned with Chris Beard. He spoke incredibly highly of you and a lot of things that we found, and including things that he said that your maturity was something he'd never seen as physically and also as a person. So your relationship with Coach Beard, what was that like kind of leading up to it? And you guys still in touch? You still have a strong relationship? And how much of the decision to go to Texas Tech was based off of him?
Coming out of high school, you all offense. You kind of don't play hard because you don't know what playing hard is until you have a, coach that's emphasizing that. But just coming up out of high school, I was kind of like just young, just trying to do anything to get on the court. But he told me, if you want to grow and as a player and get better, you have to do these things. And I really listened to him, and I really trusted him, and we had a bond that was unbreakable. So I mean, it was pretty cool playing for him.
So you guys obviously had incredible success in your first year. So you come into Texas Tech, you're a freshman, and what was your expectations for the season, as how much you were going to play, how much you were going to see in the court? What were you ready for? And then how did that kind of continue to roll and keep moving? And then you kind of look up, you have incredible success, and you're playing in the NCAA championship game after March Madness. So we really want to hear about that whole tournament, everything that went down. But what were your expectations going into the season? How much did you think you were going to touch the floor? And how did that kind of progress as the season went on?
Right. So before I even got there, I'm thinking like, Texas Tech, Big 12, they're not like the top school yet. I mean, so I might have a chance to start as a freshman or play a lot. So that was my mindset going in. But when I got there, it's plenty more dudes that's like your talent, your size, maybe even stronger, faster, maybe even better. But, it's just – so at the beginning I just thought I was going to play a lot. And I did play a lot, but I just didn't start. But everything else fell in line after I got in there. But the tournament is crazy. It's second to none. Second to none. Nobody thought we was going – first of all, we won the Big 12. Nobody thought we was going to win the Big 12. Our preseason ranking was like finishing 8th, maybe barely getting to the tournament. So we won the Big 12, and then that tournament was just a crazy run because we was all clicking on – everybody was clicking on the same ceiling. Like it was just a perfect match. And then the atmosphere in the championship was just – it was different. You playing in the Vikings Stadium, that little court in that NFL, stadium, it was crazy. So
It's different.
yeah, it's different.
Wow. And then you played in that tournament. Did that help you later on when you played in Houston for the tournament?
Yeah, I was already prepared and already pretty much knew what I had to do, and I knew to tell the guys, every possession counts, stuff like that. Like, we need all these, like, whatever you got, like, just bring it.
You got to
So,
tell us about
yeah.
that 19-point game
Which
in Houston during the tournament. You had that 19-point game
talking
against
about Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Arizona game.
it was so much leading up to that game because Coach Sampson, he showed us this video of like Dalen Terry and what's the guy name that was he was their main player. Benedict Mathurin. Yeah. And then they had an interview. He was like, "Yeah, we got the best player in the nation, best team in the nation." And then Coach Sampson turned the video off, and everybody looking at each other like, "Hell no, like no way!" Like, cause we was some dogs in that team. We was like, "Nah, ain't no way that's gonna happen." So that just gave us a little bit more motivation and a little bit more power to come out and finish that game.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you actually had an offer from Houston before Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So when Chris Beard left, you decided to leave. What came into going to Houston? And when Chris Beard left, was it kind of like automatic, you're out?
So at Texas Tech, you got scrimmages before every season. We scrimmaged Houston every year I was at Texas Tech. So I knew Coach Sampson, like he always seen me in his face. I always seen him, and we always had a relationship in high school. And we always just kept in touch. And even though I wasn't on his team, he always congratulated me on on things that I would have done. So I mean, in the back of my mind, I was like, that's the safe place to go because he knows me, I know him, and I'll be able to trust him because we got the same styles, playing hard, like defensive type of stuff. So I knew I can be able to flourish there.
That's great.
So staying kind of in the state, as you said before. So what I'm curious is, like, I guess to go a little bit back to Texas Tech and that momentum that's pushing you and Texas Tech after, of course, having that massive success in your first year and kind of taking those big steps in your second year and after that to be a vocal leader and be a part of the team. So at what point did you think that your game kind of evolved to be that leader? Was it right after you had all that success when you were a freshman and then you kind of in your sophomore and junior and moving forward year had all this experience that other people didn't have? Therefore, you were able to bring different things to the court. At what point did you kind of realize in yourself that you were going to be this standout guy, this leader, and take on a bigger role for whatever team you're going to be a part of?
Right. So, I mean, as soon as we got home from our loss in the national championship, like, we had the parade, everybody was crying and sad. But in my mind, I'm thinking, like, these guys are leaving. It's going to be me and Moretti, Morrow, I call him Morrow. But it's just going to be me and him next year. Like, what are we going to do to, like, not drop off, like, not, be worse or less than, what's the standard? So, I mean, we had a pack kind of to, like, always keep us in the run-ins in the race. And that next year it was COVID, so we didn't really get to show what we had in the tournament. But we knew that we couldn't fall for anything less.
And then your continuance of that after your years at Texas Tech and your transfer to Houston, and obviously your success there as well. So when you come into Houston, again, I'm kind of asking about the question of playing time, because we see these days with athletes, especially now in this era, is a guy could play 4 years in college. It feels like he's on 4 different teams because he's transferring all over the place. So from your perspective and staying with those 2 programs and understanding what your role would be coming in, what was kind of the expectation from other people as to nowadays? Is it if you have success at a certain university, you just want to leave right away? How do you think it's changed since you've been there to now, maybe, and even jumping in and out with the NIL? So your perspective on that, joining a new school and kind of you have this familiarity with the coach and you've seen him before, you spoke to him before, but what are your thoughts these days with a lot of players just transferring for the best opportunity for them this season and maybe not thinking about their like hardcore development as a player, where it could be impacted if you stay in 1 or 2 places for a couple of years and learn from your coaches? That's how your game can improve, versus kind of jumping around every year and not finding your groove.
Right. I want to clear the air on this because I think Texas Tech fans are kind of like mad at me because I transferred, just like I've spent 3 years there and I transferred my last year. But it's just when I commit, I commit for the head coach, right? And then if he leaves, I'm just like, I don't know who's going to be in that second spot. I don't know what that's going to be like. And I don't want to sort of risk or chance my last year or last 2 years in collegiate sports just to anybody, you know. So I mean, that was just the safest place, like I said, Coach Sampson was to go. And our expectations was he wanted me to be, you know, the guy on the team, you know, the guy that does everything, you know, replacing Quentin Grimes, which was there last year, and he just wanted me to be in that role, and I thought, you know, I can do it. So I mean, we just really, you know, locked in on that, and we went from there.
What was the key to kind of getting hot at the right time with all of your success in the tournament? You know, we see a lot of, that's what March Madness is, upsets all the time. So what kind of mentality do you have coming into these tournaments that led to your success both at Texas Tech and Houston that kind of is in the locker room and you're telling the team, what are some things, what's the mindset that a team needs to have in a tournament like March Madness when you never know who's going to upset the next team? So how do you kind of keep that steam and keep it rolling and make sure guys don't fall off a little bit?
Also,
Right.
what are you telling yourself too?
Okay, yeah,
like,
right,
during that?
right. So you don't never want to be the best team in the beginning, middle of the year, because you know you don't have any room to grow and get better. So I mean, so when you get to that tournament time, I think your team has to be clicking, and I think, you know, you just have to not want to lose and have to want to play, or you just have to, how I'm trying to put this, you just have to, you know, want to play one more game with your teammate, you know, because this could be my last year, my last game. This could be your teammate's last game. Like, you want to play with these guys as long as you can. So I mean, that's the goal. And if y'all really love each other and y'all really, you know, brothers like that, like you want to see each other flourish. No matter who has 20, 10, it don't matter. You just want to win the tournament.
Did you notice a lot of distraction with, like, as you said before, with your playing in now football stadiums and the media is like all over you guys, as I'm assuming you're as in the Final Four? Did you ever find it for challenge, or maybe as you as a veteran in that kind of scene see your teammates struggle with that kind of the media and the pressure of playing in the tournament? Or once you're at these big schools that are winning conference championships and stuff like that, it's a little bit less?
Yeah, I think guys already had like a little taste or feel like of how the media is gonna go like through our season, because we was a top team. I like to consider us, but we was a top team, so we always had, you know, press conferences and stuff like that. So when we got there, it wasn't like a shock, like, oh my gosh, like everybody, this is new. Like, it was just another day and another game. So
Got it.
So like I was trying to say, but when you were there, obviously the team is very important, but it's also your last year in school and college. And in Houston, your three-point shot was really clicking, and you went off that year. And definitely in the tournament, you had a great tournament.
Yeah.
So what goes into you saying, like, all right, telling yourself, Kyler, like, I'm going to shoot the heck out of this ball? Like, where's the mindset there?
I mean, just the process, all the work that goes in, you know, day in, day out, you know, me getting up early in the morning, you know, lifting weights, running, all that. I mean, that it has to pan out some type of way. So,
Right.
I mean, I just wanted to make it the best year. Every year I want to be better than the last. So, I mean, that's my goal. And for my last year, I wanted to go out with a bang.
And did Coach Sampson kind of, like, give you the green light coming in?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember one practice I didn't shoot, and he made us run the same play, like, 8 times and told nobody else to shoot but me, you know what I'm saying, just to get my confidence up and
Nice.
just to show me that he trusts me.
Right. That goes into what you were saying
Yeah.
about, like, picking the coach.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like after Houston, you went to the draft, or
Yeah, after Houston.
and then did you get drafted?
No,
Undrafted.
Yep.
But you did get signed by the Nets.
Yeah,
Right?
no, Motor
Cruise.
City.
You got
Detroit.
signed by Motor City.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
All right. And then how does it, now you're in the G League, it's a profession. How does the coaches, how does your time, your role kind of all come into factor now?
I feel like as a pro, it's more relaxed. Like, not relaxed as in like playing style. It's like more like we don't have a meeting at 7 in the morning. We don't have to go run with the team. Like, it's not like a boot camp pretty much.
Right.
So it's just like you're a professional. You come in, do your work, and you just, you know, do your job pretty much. And you go home, and if you want to get shots up, that's on you. If you want to go home, stretch or whatever, it's just pretty much on you type of thing. It's not like a program is telling you like we all need to do this. So that's the different side.
For sure.
So I was wondering, kind of, a lot of what we want to do in this show is talk about athletes and how they overcome a lot of their challenges. And playing, being here in Israel and seeing and talking to a lot of people who play in a lot of different leagues, it's interesting to kind of note the mentality that's needed to do this and to keep going and keep grinding and to really keep putting in the work to see where you go. So once you had all this steam off of Houston, how did you mentally get prepared after not getting drafted to play in Detroit? And what's kind of the thought process? Was your immediate goal to play well enough in Detroit, try and make the league right after that? At what point does kind of switching around, doing what you do, maybe coming to play overseas come into a factor? What was your mindset kind of when you first got to Motor City and what you wanted to accomplish there?
My first mindset was like coming every day to be the first one in the gym, no matter if it's G League guys, because we shared a gym with the Pistons, so it was like same court, 2 courts, but everybody can see each other working out. So I wanted to get there before everybody showed up, just show that I'm here and ready to work. And try to get a 2-way or a 10-day or anything. But that didn't happen. But I still went through the process and grinded every day. So, I mean, it didn't happen, but I know it was better for me.
Which is kind of interesting because in Motor City, you did play well.
Yeah, I did,
and you had the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of goes into play there? Did you ever talk to the coaches about your next step, like what's going on, like, or maybe your agent?
The coaches always, they was rooting for me, like they want me to get this, get that, but it's not their decision. It's like
Right.
more like above them. So I mean, everybody like the way I play. It's just sometimes it don't roll like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Can I ask just from your perspective, so you were on Motor City when Ryan came to Motor City?
Yep.
So what was that kind of like for the team? And I guess there was there kind of more people in the fans all of a sudden and kind of dealing with that? So what's the perspective like for you to like see this guy with a key thing on his head walking in, playing, and like maybe being exposed to all that whenever came with that?
He probably taught me more about like the culture before I got here than anybody that I can read, because I always asked him questions about just anything. So him just being there, then he's selling all the tickets for sure. Everybody's coming to see Ryan Terrell. So it was just fun being a part of that and having all the eyes on you. So it was pretty cool.
Did he kind of talk about playing in Israel at any point? So did you ever talk about that with him, and maybe that affected your choice to come here later, or was that just a coincidence?
Nah, it was coincidence. I seen he was already down here like after the G League, and then when I got down here, I texted him. I was like, "Yo, I'm in the league. Like, I'll be playing you soon. so be ready."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So moving basically from there, and you had your time with the New Jersey Nets affiliate, Brooklyn Nets now. What is the perspective when you understand that you're going to go play overseas now, and what does that kind of look like for you and for that preparing for that major move that you have, and okay, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to do it. So how long were you kind of thinking about that before you made it happen?
I knew I wanted to give myself a chance to make the NBA or have a chance to get on the team or whatever, but I didn't want to stay too long where it's kind of like I'm lowering my value because I'm getting to that age. I'm 25, but I'm talking about like that middle age where I can make the most money as I can type right now. So it's just that was the factor. It was just me doing what's best, what I thought in my mind for my career. So.
Do you think that the G League gives you a better chance of getting into the NBA per se, or playing out here overseas where you get a higher role on the team because they only have a few Americans or a few international players coming in, and when you come out here, it's definitely a different brand of basketball, and NBA teams still see it, but in the G League you're still in the NBA system. So what do you think kind of?
I feel like it just depends because it's all about who like you and who doesn't like. I mean, you can be averaging 25 and 5 or whatever you want, but if the top GMs or the scouts don't think that you're gonna be good for their team, like it doesn't matter what your stats say. So it's not like the G League will be better or overseas will be better, which I don't know yet because this is my first year. But we can have this conversation after this year. But yeah, I mean, it's not like what would be preparing me better for the NBA. It's just whoever likes you, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and then but after the G League, you went to France for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd you like it out there? What was kind of challenging going overseas? I saw it was a bit of a challenging year, basketball wise. So coming to France, was the brand like very different from anything you've ever seen?
Yeah.
And then how'd you adapt to it?
So my first experience overseas, 3 months 3 months I was there in France. It was just like more like a college feel. Like it was more like team. We're gonna get up in the morning. We're gonna work out. It's all team stuff. So but it was just challenging for me because far away from home, different style of coaching, different style of playing, and I guess me and the coach didn't see eye to eye on some type of stuff. So I mean, I just thought my best route was gonna be here.
Right, and did that come with talking to the coach here? Because it's
I came with talking to him, talking to my agent, and we all get on the same page of what I want and what he want for me to do for the team.
And then how have you adapted here? Because the past few weeks you've been balling
Oh
out.
yeah, no.
So it seems like it's finally clicking now.
Oh yeah, no, I love it here. He gives me full reins for whatever I need to do, and he lets me hoop. So I mean, that's all a player can ask for.
Yeah,
is
for sure.
To be able to hoop and be free without having in the back of their mind if I do this, coach gonna take me out, or if I do this, coach gonna be mad at me. It's just it's just a free flowing game for down here.
Yeah.
Where did you hear about coming to play in Israel from guys you were in the G with, or maybe different overseas players? Like when did it come up at a point to come play here, and that decision to make it happen?
When, like I said, when me and the coach in France wasn't seeing eye to eye, it was just like, all right, what's the next step? So then my agent came up to me with some team names, and I did my own research, as in calling players, Googling, just anything. But I haven't had a teammate that played in Israel besides Ryan Terrell. But I mean, I ended up texting him when I got down here, so it was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And as John said, we've seen your success, and it's really been great. And the team also, you guys have 2 wins in a row. You're really one of the top scorers in the league. So for you, besides for the green light, what do you think about the game is beneficial to you? Do you feel like the floor is really open? Are you able to kind of jump on the fact that it's a very physical game, or how it moves maybe differently compared to other leagues? So what's attributing to your success? Because, as we've been saying, you've really been on a tear coming into this week and really helping Netanya play incredibly well. So what are the little things about the game that you think are helping you here?
I think more in France, it was I was used as kind of like a one-trick pony. I'm just a spot-up shooter. But here it's they give me the ball in my hand. I can come off pick and rolls, make decisions for other people, and that's where I really strive in, because I'm not just a shooter. I can do pretty much everything on the court.
You're a playmaker.
Yeah. I just make plays. So
For sure.
I feel like I can do anything on the court, and I set my mind to it. And I just need the opportunity, and here I'm getting the opportunity, so I'm loving it.
And then we got to talk about it because you're not new to it. And a few weeks ago, you had a crazy half-court buzzer beater
For sure.
over here in Herzliya.
Oh yeah.
So what went there?
So we ran that play actually, or it was something like that in practice the day before.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So it's just crazy and I hit the same shot. So it was just crazy how it all panned out. But yeah, I mean, in those moments, I do want the ball, and I want to help my team win any type of way. So I mean, that shot was big for us, and we needed that win.
You definitely had a bunch of them in Motor City as well.
Yep.
We saw that. You guys went to the playoffs also.
Yep.
Had
sure.
a few there.
Yep. I played Motor City when I was with Long Island, and I had the game winner against them.
There you go.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Mr. Game Winner over here.
Yeah. I had one in the DR this summer too, so it was pretty cool. It was cool.
There you go.
What was your experience over there playing in the DR like?
Oh, it was pretty cool because where I was, Santiago, it was we was mixed in with the locals, so it was if you don't speak Spanish or whatever, it's just it's just what are you saying? What? But nah, it was cool though, because everybody was nice, everybody was cool, and then the team was just fun to be around. Just seeing different cultures and seeing how other people live.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's what a lot of people say about here.
Yeah.
I know you're pretty new here, but what have you kind of seen a little bit of how maybe international players like to play here, and what are kind of your first interactions with the Israelis here, whether it just be the people or your teammates?
Yeah, so first, people love the weather here. It never goes below 70, 65, so that's a dream destination, because when I was in France, it was snowing before I left. It was just cold. It's always raining, but not to mess up on France or step on France, but
whatever.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great.
That.
Yeah, it was great, but it was just cold, and I'm not used to that from Texas. So it was cool. But yeah, it was just a great experience. It's just a great experience being here, and you know, people really speak highly of Israel, like as in like basketball and like living wise.
Yeah, I mean, we hear that a lot, and it's awesome for us to see because we want to just see the best athletes and see the best basketball here.
Sure.
And so, again, another thing that we bring up all the time is we've been here for 3-4 years now following the Herzliya team. So, you know, it hurt extra when you hit Brother Beater, especially because, you know, we're having a good year. We're playing in the Cup on Sunday, but we're an unbiased podcast. We love all teams. But we've seen the game improve, and we've seen the Israeli players get a lot better. And it's super interesting for us to kind of see that perspective. So are there Israeli teammates on your current team that are sticking out, or maybe on some guys you've played? And were you kind of expecting the game here, their actual players to be as good as they are?
Right. So our team, they told me, is like one of the youngest teams in the league. And we're like up and coming or whatever.
Right, because they just moved up from the second league.
Right. So we got a lot of young players, a lot of young Israelis, and they're pretty good. So I mean, they can hold their own, and I like playing with them. So they know basketball, they know the flow of the game, and it's just pretty fun.
That's cool. How would you say the competitiveness is like here?
Oh, it's real competitive. It's like I said, it's like a college like atmosphere feel. Like the crowd is crazy. Pretty much most games, and the defense is really amped up. Everybody's like, trying to get a
For
stop.
sure. How would you compare it to like France G League, and like obviously college is gonna blow that out of the roof, but
to my like what crowd?
Talking about crowd, talking about competitiveness. Definitely like in the G League you have a lot of great players and all, but at the same time guys are kind of playing to get up a level.
Yeah.
So here I think what I've heard so far is that a lot of players say that it's more of a team brand game here. And how do you see that come into play, and how like competitive do you see it coming?
It's definitely more selfish in the G League,
right? For
sure, because everybody want that one spot, so they trying to do anything to get it. It kind of gets ugly basketball wise, but over here, overseas, like the team is one, and then you come next or whatever, however you want to put it. But it's just like I said, like a college atmosphere, like team, and that's what I like, honestly. So I mean, team and winning. That's what I like.
What about the leagues between Israel and France? What league would you say is more competitive?
Both leagues are good.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
It's tough.
Both leagues are good because they both got Euro League, Euro Cup, BCL.
Right.
It's
y'all
like,
in France
like
played
right
against
here.
like Paris as well.
Yeah, we played against Paris, played against Monaco, all the big
Asvel.
teams. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing a lot of talk about NBA making a little deal with Paris and Asvel to make like a little
that would be cool.
NBA
sure.
Europe thing. But talking about
it.
talking about the NBA a little bit, we got a Mavs fan in the building.
Oh, right.
I don't think we would be a basketball podcast without talking about what just happened the other day. What are your thoughts about it?
If you have any conspiracy theories, now is the time to share, because there's a lot of Dallas fans.
I was just telling them, like, it got to be something like that we don't know. Like, it got to be something different, like, off the wall. But as a fan, it's just like, dang, like, we let go of Luka. Luka's like, the franchise. So,
He's the face of the franchise.
Yeah. He's almost face of the league. So, I mean,
right.
I get it, but I kind of don't get it. But I love AD, so that's fine with me. I feel like him and Kyrie are gonna go crazy. So
well, I was kind of curious as a player. I think one of the reasons that people are thinking this trade may have happened, which I think is interesting, is the Mavericks drafted Luka when he was 18, and they've seen him over the past 7 years like develop as a player and develop all his habits and training habits, and so they are in line to pay him $350 million after this season. So do you think it's valid for ownership or coaches to maybe not have a ton of faith in a player's ability of how they approach the game and let that be a reason? Because they went to the finals last year. It's not like they haven't seen success. So do you think as a player that maybe if the player's being successful and the team is getting to where they need to be, the NBA finals, that ownership and the coaches should just, fuck off and not be really involved in how the player gets there and what he does and what he eats and how much he weighs and what does that matter versus actual results? So I'm kind of curious from your perspective, like, do you think that's a valid thing for the ownership to say, to be like, oh, we don't love the way you approach the game, but from his side, he just took them to the finals?
I think you have to respect that as like a GM, but I've never been a GM, so I think you have to respect that. Like, I just took you to the finals. I done did this and did that. I'm all NBA or whatever. But at the end of the day, I know like it's a business. So I mean,
Right.
they probably trying to make. They're probably like 10 steps ahead of our thinking. But like of
sure.
the trade. So
Anyway, we wish our condolences as just basketball fans.
hey, you never know. We might get better.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, that's what I was saying. I was saying immediately you have AD and Kyrie and Clay, and I think for the next couple of years, that's definitely a contending team. And you got AD's. It was a lot. He's got a lot to prove.
Hey,
I
you
don't
wanna play
know.
the forward too?
Kyrie's tried to do this a few times before. It hasn't really worked out for him.
I personally think that the Mavs will finish better than Lakers this year. Lakers have a lot of holes. Their roster looks a little strange right now.
Yeah, it's over for Lakers. It's over with. This year it's over with. I think it's over with.
What do you think?
Well, no one's
need a
taking
big.
Boston, so.
Boston is too OD right now. So hey,
But that's the thing. We're a homegrown team.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Payne Pritchard coming off the bench. Those are all guys that Boston drafted.
for sure.
So, like you were saying, like it's kind of just crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't really get what they did over there in Dallas because they had a homegrown player. He's 25 years old.
25 is
It's
crazy.
not old.
Yeah, this.
You know,
Everybody's saying like this is the craziest trade they done seen in their lifetime. And it's
Probably.
just- yeah, I mean, mine for sure. I have never seen nothing crazy.
so
than this.
I mean, in going back to overseas ball, you don't really see so much. I don't really know if trades are even a thing.
Not
in
very much,
EuroLeague.
at least here.
But we don't really see that. So
Mhm.
during your season, you're definitely trying to play your heart out, right? Like you want to ball out, you want to show what you got. But when do calls start coming in from other teams, and when do you kind of like think about what you're gonna do next year? Is the NBA still on your mind? Where's that?
Yeah, the NBA will never leave my mind, like,
Right.
as in like wanting to play or wanting to be in there. But as in as in like calls and for next year, I'm not sure. This is my first year going through the process, so I'm new to it, just like anybody else. So I just want to finish the season out as strong as I can and pray for the best next year.
For sure.
Mhm.
Do you see yourself staying overseas though, or is it something like you kind of want to go back to America, even if it's the G League, or do you like the overseas
Nah,
culture?
nah. I ain't.
Nah.
I'm not doing the G League again. Only way I do the G League is like if it's
Two-way.
like a two-way type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Because there's no money in the G League.
Right.
Is it really like that bad? Like,
Yeah. It's like teacher salary pretty much.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
But I mean, not to say
No,
nothing bad
for
about
sure,
teachers.
yeah,
We
yeah,
love
yeah.
teachers. This is a
Yeah.
pro teacher podcast.
Yeah, we love teachers, but
But
it's
the
just-
salaries are pretty
is
good out
not,
here.
Yeah, salaries overseas to G League is like,
Big gap.
yeah, it's like not comparison. So I'd rather just stay overseas and just build my career.
Yeah, man. Live in Tel Aviv is not so bad.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is nice.
Yeah.
Beach and everything out here. So.
Hey, maybe I don't know. Maybe Maccabi Apollo's in the future. You know,
somebody call me.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for sure.
But yeah, anyway, it's awesome to see your success has been great, even though you just got here, and we're looking forward to watching you for the rest of the season and see how it pans out. And for Netanya, man, like all we want to do is root for these second league teams to come
Right.
in and play well and to make more programs in Israel to like really invest in what they've got going on, because we're seeing that from the big guys, Maccabi and Hapoel, when they really are attracting overseas players. You got Pep Bev playing here. You have
Right.
guys who are playing in EuroLeague and now coming back to play in Israel.
Definitely.
And that's all we want to see is commitment from our league here to get us like even more excited about how it works.
for sure.
I also want to ask, like, during the season, do you feel like there's maybe less games than you would expect because you're playing maybe once or twice a week? Do you think that players can actually play more? And also, it comes into the other teams, like, because at the end of the day, you're in the Israeli like Super League, the Winter League,
Yep.
and there are other teams playing in Euro Cup, in Euro League, and they're traveling, so you guys don't get to play as much. And do you think that affects you? So like,
I don't think us per se, because we practice hard. We practice most days. So I mean, when we do practice, it's like we are trying to compete, get after it. We're never on the same team, like starting guys, and we just like to compete. But in France, I was in the FIBA Euro Cup, so we had those games in France and those games in like Germany, with Croatia, just different countries, and that was cool. But
Yeah.
it was just like kind of was a lot because you got to go from here to here to here to here,
right.
and we didn't have an airport in DeJohn, so it's like we got to drive to Paris, which is like 5-hour drive.
Oh damn.
Yeah, just to get to the airport. So just like it's a lot to travel.
So
Yeah.
what was it more difficult, traveling in the G League or traveling in France?
Nah, G League was a cakewalk because
You're in the
we
States.
yeah, we right there. Like the airport's probably 30, 40 minutes.
Mhm.
It's just the getting to the airport, getting back from like we land at 1 a.m. You got to take that bus ride all the way back to the John. It's
Wow.
like, man, we're gonna get back to home at the crib at like 4. So it's just like it's just exhausting.
Definitely weighs on a
Yeah.
player.
Another thing about playing here, like you're realistically not traveling that far.
Yeah.
If you're playing a game in Tel Aviv, that's 25 minutes. So that's huge, and that's a big plus for a player. You have to bring all these things into consideration. Like even going back to college days, now you have all these conferences that are getting realigned, and
Yep.
student athletes are flying across the whole U.S. So maybe that's another plus to play here in
No,
Israel.
I love it because it's giving my body a break, kind of, from traveling and doing all that wear and tear. It just, just playing that one game a week is good on my body, I feel like.
How do you feel the equipment and kind of facilities? I know it very much varies based on what team here you
Yep.
play in Israel, but just so far in your professional career, like how is it compared to maybe playing in the Dominican League and in France?
Y'all
I
got
feel
a
like,
new stadium.
yeah, I
too,
feel like
right?
our facilities here, like, in Netanya, is top notch because everything is brand new. Like, we just built that soccer stadium, and our arena is like right next to it, so we have like a little clinic. It's like where you lift weights and stuff. It's like everything is brand new,
Oh, that's
pretty much.
nice.
Yeah, so it's like dream come true, and then you walk 5 minutes down the road and you on the beach. So it's just like
That's great.
Not in Detroit anymore.
nah, yeah, it's cool. But then like I played in Long Island, right, and we practiced at a rec center.
Oh
And it's
wow.
like people waiting outside the windows, like when y'all get off the court, it's our turn to play. Like we're a professional team, and they're like, all right, come on, let's go. Like it's our time to hoop.
No,
Like
wow.
regular people every day. It was pretty cool though.
And in Netanya, you get to use the gym whenever you want.
Not whenever, cause
Let's
I
say
think,
it's
I
like
think the city
evening.
owns that gym.
But like if it's like you're like chilling at 6 p.m. like you want to get shots up, can you? Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty
call-
sure. Yeah, you can call Itai, the coach,
Yeah.
or Idan. I want to get
That's
in the
great.
gym, and they'll make it happen.
Because it definitely doesn't happen in a lot of places in Israel. Definitely not in Herzliya. Because
Mhm.
Herzliya, you were there just now. You saw it's a high school gym.
Yeah,
At the end
yeah.
of the day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a high school gym. So they share it with like other
Okay.
high school teams and
Right.
stuff, which is difficult. So being in Netanya, it's pretty sick that you have like a brand new arena.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's kind of interesting because Netanya's at the bottom of the league now,
nice.
and you
don't
guys
sleep on us.
Hey,
though. Don't,
you guys-
2 in a row.
don't sleep
2
on
in
us.
a row.
Cause we got some players coming back. We got some guys that just came back that's helping us a lot. So don't sleep on us.
I mean,
We
you're
gonna have a
cooking
run.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
we're good.
it's gonna start rolling, bro.
Yeah, we're good. We just need a couple more practices of us all together, and we'll be fine.
That's a big win.
I think they get into the top 8,
Yeah, I mean,
top 6.
I feel it. I feel
Yeah?
it. I feel like it's no limit for us because we're so young and guys are starting to figure it out now, like what we need to do to win. And like I said, we got key guys coming back. Like you guys, I guess you guys have seen Dolinsky, the big guy on
Yeah.
our team. He played probably 3 games, but then he got injured again. So when we get him back, it's probably gonna be like even more of a gap.
We're
But,
we're
yeah.
taking your word for it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, just watch.
Listen,
Just watch. I'm
we
telling
saw
you.
a team that for the game versus Hapoel Tel Aviv the other day
Yeah.
that was a tight game, and
Yeah.
they're big, they're scary, and that arena was kind of popping.
Yeah, for sure.
So y'all had a great game. So we are absolutely wishing for your success, and
Yes,
Netanya
sir.
we think is a really exciting team to watch. And we're gonna wrap up. We have some rapid fire questions that I'd like to do. We'll do
Yeah.
a shot
So
clock
at the end
segment.
of our podcast, we usually do a little segment.
Say like,
Get like a little shot clock going,
bet.
and like 24 seconds, just rapid fire questions, whatever comes up in your brain.
Bet.
All right, so we'll put a little shot clock
Well,
up.
every time we try to figure out what our record is,
I think it's 9 now.
it's a
I
lot.
think it was Ricky last week. We had Ricky Lindo on.
Bet. Come
Yeah.
on.
I think
Alright.
it's all about how fast we can ask the question.
That's true too.
I got 24 seconds.
You got 24 seconds.
It's
Alright.
like 24:30.
Bet.
You know, like-
30. 30.
All right, you
when
ready?
you are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going 3, 2, 1. All right, forgotten NBA player.
Forgot NBA player. Jason Derrick.
NBA sneaker. I mean, favorite sneaker.
NBA hooper
All right,
sneaker.
let's
Like,
start
wait,
it again.
come
Let's
on,
start it
man.
again.
Hey,
We're giving you a second chance.
Bet,
We're
bet,
giving
bet.
you a second chance.
When
All
you
right,
say
Larry,
sneaker, like what? Like
I was saying like
like,
any sneaker.
walk around shoe. It don't matter.
Basketball shoe. is the
Basketball shoe.
question.
Okay, bet.
All I said sneaker. He could have said like Stan Smiths or
Yeah,
like
you
Dunks.
right, you right,
He
you
could have
right,
said
you
whatever
right.
he wanted.
I heard NBA at first.
You
And
could
I'm
have
like,
like
okay.
Jordan ones.
You're
I
right,
don't.
you're right, you're right. For sure, for sure.
All right. So Mayor, you start us off. Another 24 seconds.
All right.
30, 30,
All right.
30.
Ready?
We gotta
set,
cut
go.
this out because we're not gonna give anybody else second chances.
30, 30.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
All
Set.
right.
Go.
Who's your goat?
LeBron.
Better food in the Dominican Republic or here?
DR.
Favorite teammate.
Right now or current
Ever.
or shoot. I don't know. I don't got one. I don't got.
Favorite school.
Houston or Texas Tech.
Favorite city in the world?
Dallas.
Go to a pregame meal.
Pasta.
Forgotten NBA player.
Jason Terry.
Sneaker.
Kobe.
Favorite TV show growing up?
Power. I guess.
Favorite basketball movie?
Above the rim.
There we go.
There you go.
How many was
Straight
that?
on 30.
We'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah,
About
watch
how many
the
of those were
replay.
valid answers.
For sure.
That was good. But,
For
bro, I
sure.
really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Wishing you the most of success. I think we are going to see Netanya at least in the top 6 now.
Oh yeah.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep
You
on
gonna see.
Netanya.
Y'all gonna see.
But we're excited, and again, wishing you success. We're just happy you came on. We were able
Oh,
to
yeah.
kind of talk to us a little bit about your experience, and we're happy to have you, man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
thanks for coming.
Appreciate y'all.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey. Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Shoot, it's fun.
Did you do a lot of interviews like this one in kind of your college